Candice Parisi. I am Candice Parisi, and this is a question and answer format. I'm here on Mondays and Wednesdays. No, I'm not. I'm here on Wednesdays. I have such a habit of saying the same thing that I say on Facebook. I am here on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time doing psychic readings and mediumship. And thank you so much for being here. I'm hoping you're having a really good Wednesday. Hello, Artistic Mom. How are you? Good. Hi, Rosalie. How's everybody doing? Good. Well, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Hi, Lori. Thank you so much for sharing and moderating. I appreciate you. Hi, Rochelle. Hi, Meredith. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Jody. It's been tough. What's been tough, Rosalie? This person's name is Hi Mom. Who are you? Hi Mom. Hi Diane. Hi Sharon. Good. Welcome. Well, I'm going to be using the Enchanted Map Oracle deck. And so this is a great deck. There's also another deck called the Wisdom of the Oracle deck, both made by the same lady. I'm sure she makes like 1,000 other ones as well, but this one is great. Yes. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Mary. Hi, Shannon. Hi, Diane. Rosalie says she's just stressed and worried about a little lump I found today. I'm going to the doctor on Friday. Good. I'm glad that you're being proactive. Let's send Rosalie lots of love. She says that she's feeling stressed out today because she found a little lump. And she's going to go to the doctor on Friday. So let's send her lots of healing and lots of love. Everything's going to be okay. Yes. Howdy, Sonia. Hello. Hi, Nancy. Nancy says her power's been out all day and she can't figure out why. I had another client tell me that. Tell me that their power was out today. I don't know why. Hi, Vanessa. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Genie. Good. Well, good. Well, thank you so much for being here. If this is your first time here, my name is Candice. I'm a psychic and a medium. And this is a great place to ask questions. Anything that you'd like, anything that's coming up for you in your life, please feel free to ask. And I'm going to answer every 25th person starting in the middle. And then at the end, I'm going to pull a card for everybody here. So stick around for that. Rosalie says that's happening today in Minnesota to a few people. It's the high winds. My daughter is here. My 2-year-old is here. She says, your name's not Candice, you're a mommy. Hi, AJ. That's right. I am mommy. You're right. So my name is not Candice tonight. It's mommy because my 2-year-old is hanging out with us. So great. Hi, AJ. Good. And so while you're showing up, if you could share this live out into YouTube and different places, that'd be really great. There's a share button somewhere and on the screen. And then, hi, Amanda. Hi, Linda. Right, Rosalie? She's 2. Judy says they shut off power. The winds were really high. The winds are really high here in Chicago as well, all of a sudden. Yeah. Yes, good. Okay, good. And so while you're showing up and while you are hanging out, also if you haven't had a chance to subscribe, please feel free to. I will also share. I like to have all of these little like little containers of stuff in my life. I have lots of little containers of stuff, and so lots of little things that I've gathered all over. I've gotten the opportunity to travel all over the world and get to, you know, go and have so many awesome experiences, and people gift me lots of things. And I came across this guy today. Look at that. And so lots of times I just have like these bowls of stuff. And I think in here is, I think, sage and some sort of flower. I'm sure lavender's in there. There's this frog. Huh? I've had that guy forever. And someone gave me this tiny little mug that says Candice, the tiniest mug in the world. Can you see that? And then shells and all sorts of different things. And sometimes what I do is I use different scents. I put different smells inside of these different herbs and stuff that I throw in there, which is really just a bunch of stuff. And so when it comes to me, I really like jasmine and sandalwood. And so you can find whatever smells you like, but these two mixed together is, and then I just pour it into a bunch of the stuff that I have, and then it smells good. You think that we don't need to overcomplicate things to have sacred areas in our house or places that mean something to us. I try to have little places throughout my life and house that feel like it reminds me to take a moment and connect to myself and my guidance, and take a deep breath, and things that just make you feel good. And so sometimes we have a lot going on in our life and we don't feel good. And so if we can create these little worlds, it sounds silly, but when you create these little worlds inside your life, you have these momentary feelings of like, oh, there's that smell I love, or oh, there's that thing I love, and then you go back to your stressful life. But I think it's helpful in you know, bringing down your cortisol levels and making you feel better inside your life. Yes, good. So that's my story, and thank you again so much for subscribing and showing up and sharing this YouTube out into the world. I appreciate it, and I'm gonna get started. Again, I'm going to be using the Enchanted Map Oracle cards. And so if you have any questions at all, please feel free to ask. And at the end, I'm going to pull a card for everybody here. I'm picking every 25th person starting in the middle. And so please feel free to ask anything you'd like. Okay. Okay, let me get to the middle here. All right. Oh, thank you, Nancy, for the gift. I appreciate you. All right. Okay, right in the middle is Genie Savini. Hi, Genie Savini. Genie Savini says, did I break my arm? Oh, no. Did I break my arm? Let's send lots of love to Genie Savini. Did I break my arm? I'm going to pull a card for you. Thank you so much for asking your question. Hit the heart button if you've ever broken an arm or a leg or something, and had to get like a cast and the whole thing. I think especially as we get older, we can fall and break a hip, you know, do all sorts of things. And so I'm sorry that you're feeling your arm is hurting. Let me pull a card for you. Okay. All right. So, goblins. Let's see here. So, when it comes to you show up as deeply bruising your arm, like fracturing something, but you don't show up as breaking it. They show up as if you were to go to the doctor, they would want to like put it in a sling so that you can and take the inflammation away. But it doesn't show up as something that is just like fully broken. And so I would, I would recommend, if you're a doctor girl, you can, go and they'll look into it. Certainly. You can also, get on top of that, you can also get a sling for it, but it shows up as you just need to rest it. You've been hanging out in this body for a long time, so there's, so I think that sometimes it's easier to break stuff when we're, again, like when we're older. But for you, you show up as, you fractured something and caused a lot of bruising. And so I would look into it. I would go to, a medical doctor and have them look at it, and so that you have some peace of mind around it. But it's a lot of reduction of inflammation, that seems like they're going to want to do. Yes. Good. Good. Well, thank you so much for asking your question. Okay, let me get to the next person here. All right. Thank you so much for being here. Okay. Happy Wednesday. Let's see. Okay, 25. 25 is Mallerie White. Hi, Mallerie White. Mallerie White, you're the 25th person. She says, hi, Candice. I need to move and I can't find the right place. Any guidance? Okay, I'm going to pull a card for you. And thank you so much for asking your question. Mallerie White. All right, let's see here. Okay. All right. The mountain. So, when it comes to you, regardless if you haven't already found a place or found something that you love or that is for you, you do show up as needing to move. Like, it feels like there's some urgency behind it. You do show up as making a move here in this next couple of months. Even feels like it's pretty quick. It does feel like it displaces a lot of people. It feels like that there's a handful of people in your house, so it's not just you. You do show up as finding a place. It does feel like it's something that is good for right now and feels like it works for right now. I think there's opportunity for a secondary move, or you feeling like, okay, this is temporary, because there is some sort of urgency inside of moving. But once you make that shift and change and make a move, it does feel very much like then in, a little while past that, you show up as buying or having something that feels like it's yours. And so even though you haven't found it yet, it does feel like here, even in April, you show up as very sure of where you're moving and you're happy with it. And so I think I would just do exactly what you've been doing when it comes to the searching and try to find the thing, trying to find the perfect place. But it feels like it's something that ends up working quite well, and that you show up as really liking it. And so I think that it's good. It feels safe for the moment. And then you shift into something that feels like you buy. So it feels like it's a renting and then buying scenario. I would look at it like that, instead of trying to like buy something or trying to like make all those maneuvers happen, because it feels like wherever you live now is, it feels like it's, you gotta leave soon, so you don't have all the luxuries of that. And so that's how I would work on it. But if I think that moving around sucks, right? But it does show up as the end result is this year you're in something that makes you really happy. Okay, good. Well, thank you so much for asking your question. Okay, let me get to the next person. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. And I would love to have a reading with you. My Website is in the description of this live, but it's travelingintuitive.com. And so if you would like to get a private reading with me, a 30-minute reading or a 1-hour reading, you'd go to travelingintuitive.com to book a session. I'd love to have a reading with you. Okay, all right, let's see here. Okay. Let's see. All right. Hello. Okay, 25 is Teresa Lucci. Ullucci. It's an Italian name. I should be able to say it because my last name is Parisi, but I can't. And so, Lucci. Teresa, she says, would love a message. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to pull a card for you. Thank you so much for asking your question. Okay, let's see here. Okay. The Gentle Gardener. So, 2024 was a, you can't cuss on YouTube. And so, was a S show for you. It was definitely a lot of things have gone on in 2024, 2023. Just feeling like there's, you had to move. You shifted when it comes to relationships. You have like, some sort of situation with one of your kids when it comes to you. Like there's just this menagerie of things. Plus you're doing it all alone. The big thing for you is that even though you've been in this relationship that you've been in, that you're not in anymore, and also, now you're single and you're not in that relationship, you've been alone through all of it. And so we're moving to a place where we're ready to not be alone. We're ready to really be able to share our life with somebody. And so I think that that's the big change for this year. I think there's always been like, a sense of financial struggle and things like that, but that part gets figured out. It really where like the big change is this year is you drawing towards you a relationship, somebody who is gentle and kind and has a really, beautiful family and is somebody who's been divorced for a while and just is ready to love and be loved and all the things that you're looking for. It's all the things that, you haven't really had this whole time as well. And so it's an adjustment, but you show up as allowing that to come in. It's not until July, but when you do, it feels like it's easy. You don't show up as needing to do any sort of I think for you, there's value in you doing online dating just because the faucet has been off for so long that it feels like, even though online dating can be annoying, it kind of gains you a bunch of attention and kind of gets that faucet going because it's been turned off for a minute. But, when it comes to attention, when you feel, getting attention. And so I'd be open to that. Feels like that's not the way that you meet your person, but it definitely feels like we need to get the dust off of seeing ourselves as somebody who's valuable in a relationship, because I don't know that you see yourself like that. And so, but this year, in the middle of summer, you do show up as bringing somebody pretty wonderful in your life that you're excited about and that you show up as spending the rest of your life with. And so I think that it's something that is very functional and feels functional, feels like he has grown-up kids, feels like, he's shifting into a part of his life where he doesn't want to work anymore. And so I think that he's a little bit older than you. So that would be like 5 years older than you. But it puts you in a position of really feeling like that you can enjoy your life with somebody. And I think you've been through a whole bunch of stuff that is quite difficult when it comes to relationships and when it just comes to you having to overtake care of people and just do a bunch of stuff that's where you abandon yourself, you know, and I think abandoning yourself is over. And so I think that, and from here until July, we just want to work on like the idea of like, you know, feeling like that you can, you know, bring love into your life and feeling secure around being loved and all the things, so that when it does arrive, you aren't like, oh, you know. And so I think that you're gonna I think that that's the big fun change this year, and so I think it's going to be really exciting. And your guidance in your life just feels like it's time for you to really feel like you can relax in yourself. This has been a high strung, high stakes life when it comes to all the things that have been happening in the last couple of years, and so all of that shows up as over. Yes, good. Good. Well, thank you so much for asking your question. Okay, let me get to the next person. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. And at the end, I'm going to pull a card for everybody here. So stick around for that. Renee Hawkins, yes. Yeah, it would help a lot. BB, you know, I think that the draw is to go back because it feels more secure. I would give it 6 more months before you make that decision. It feels like if you stay, you show up as happy that you did. Yeah. Good. Okay. Okay. 25 is Diane Connor. Hi, Diane Connor. Diane Connor says, I would love to know what my life lesson or theme is. Thank you. You want to know your life lesson or your theme or your passion or your purpose? Good. That's a great question, Diane Connor. I'm going to pull a card for you. Thank you so much for asking your question. Okay, let's see here. Hit the heart button if you do not know your passion and purpose and theme or your lesson or whatever you're calling it. You're still searching for it or still trying to figure it out. Okay. All right. Okay, here we go. Coming apart. So, when it comes to you, Diane, your life is kind of like 2 lives. And so your guidance feels like it's kind of cut down the middle, where the first half has been a experience where you have felt not necessarily you felt like that you had to run and really show up for everything, everybody. It's stressful. All the things feels like that. Even at the very beginning of life, it feels like there's stress. And so the first half, the first part of your life, or as your guidance says, your first life in this life, has felt very, very overwhelming and hasn't given you all the time in the world to feel like that you can figure out your passion. Now we're moving into that second part, and it feels very, very much like the second part is like a calm ocean compared to the first part. And so I think that in this life, you are supposed to feel like that you carry freedom inside of yourself. Your guidance in your life is very connected to you in this very, like, your the guidance that you've had since you were born is like this the best way I can describe it, because it's not a person, right? It's a guidance, but like the the energy of it is like a older woman who doesn't know how to hold back. Your guidance is like an ant that doesn't hold back. That's how she presents herself. She she's ready to set you straight and set all the stuff straight and give everybody the truth about things. And I think that this has been a life where you have felt like that it hasn't always belonged to you at the beginning. The second part completely belongs to you. So it's almost like a completely different life in the second part of your life. I think that, what that essentially means is the hardships of your life have already happened. And so it's been in that first part of the journey. But for you, in the second part, you have a lot of time to develop yourself and work on yourself, and you have been already doing that and learning a lot about yourself. And this is a life where you feel like that you find a whole world of spiritual growth and personal growth inside yourself, and then being able to be of service to others if that's something that you want. But we've already done that gig the first half of our life, and so it feels like it's like a calm ocean. And there isn't this like giant thing that you need to go and do. When it comes to like life lessons, that's a tricky one. I would love to know what my life lesson or theme is. And so lessons would usually like indicate like something negative, like this is why some stuff has happened to me that isn't good. And sometimes when things are happening in our life that are hard, we want a reason, right? We want to say, well, I'm learning a lesson, or, whatever it might be that makes us feel better about it. Sometimes things are just very difficult. And the first half of your life is the life lesson portion of the show. The second half is you doing a lot of healing around it, and you feeling like that you can have the positive or the feeling good part of the show. And this is a longevity life where you can continue to do that, and you feel way, way more supported this half of your life. You feel way, way more loved, and you feel way more open to being the receiver instead of the giver. And so I think that your guidance is always trying to like, set you straight, or like get like nudge you on your path. But you show up as you're already feeling very compelled to work on you. And so I think you're doing everything right. Yes. Good. Well, thank you so much for asking your question. Okay. All right. I'm going to get to the next person. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. And thank you so much for being here. Hello. Oh, I get that question a lot. Sometimes people ask me, like it's like their loved one passed away like yesterday or today or something like that, and I get a lot of people who reach out and they say, how long does it take to connect to my loved ones that's passed away? Is there like a time? Is there like a time between? And answer's no. As soon as a person passes away, I don't know how it is for everybody else. I could just, tell you what it is for me. When a person passes away, then I can immediately connect to them. And so when you don't have a body and a brain, there's no time or space. So I think that we like to think of things and humanize it and think there's like these corridors that they're going down and things like that. But really you just become, you are all of the things. You go back to that unconditional love of who you are. And it's as far as in my understanding, in my connection, it's something that's instant. So it doesn't take any time. There's no interim period, as far as I know. Yes. Okay, 25. 25 is Diane de Trizio. Hi, Diane de Trizio. How are you? Diane Teresa says, what do I need to know for my most favorable outcome? Okay, great question. Thank you so much for asking your question. What do I need to know for my most favorable outcome? Okay, let me pull a card for you. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, let's see. All right. All right. So, all right, cleaning house. So let's talk about career. I think that there's parts of, there's things that are, and there's these variables in your life. Your relationship shows up as swinging into better and better. Your health feels like you're feeling more healthy in your body. The work part shows up as an unpredictable place. And so, I think that it goes in waves for you because you do have, when I'm looking at you, you have a job or a situation inside of your job that everybody, has your best interests in mind. You do show up as, you know exactly what you're doing inside of your career. You show up as have had a successful life or a successful career. We have an opportunity here to shift into something more. And so being promoted, shifting into a job that's more money, more opportunity, more all the things that you've been looking for. I think that there has been some sort of passing you over of that in the past, and you no longer have that experience. It shows up as this year. The most favorable outcome is that you're more financially secure and you're feeling better in that category. I think that you manage, other things in your life, like your relationship and your how you feel in your body. But when I'm looking at you, the big change that feels like you could take a deep breath because it feels like you want to make sure that you're being valued in what you're doing and people are valuing you and taking care of you as well, is inside the work part. And that shifts exponentially where you are definitely more in charge, more, but that comes along with more money. Yes, good. Good. Well, thank you so much for asking your question. Okay, let me get to the next person. Aw, thank you so much, Artistic Mom, for the gift. I appreciate you. Ah, good. Thank you. Okay, let me see. No problem, Diane. You're welcome. Okay, I'm going to get to I'm going to get to 2 more people in the comments, and then I'm going to pull a card for everybody here. So stick around for that. And thank you again so much for being here. Let's see. Okay. Okay, 24, 25. 25 is hi, Mom. Hi, Mom. What is your name? Hi, Mom, so I know who you are. Hi, Mom says, am I in love with my soulmate? Okay, all right, let me pull a card for you. Let's see here. Okay. If you want to tell me your name as well, that's perfectly fine. If you feel like sharing your name. If not, that's fine too. I can connect to you. Is the person I'm with is my soulmate is your question. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Spark. So, Is the person your soulmate? So soulmate, I would say is the same as like saying your person, right? Somebody who's your person in your life. You show up as spending the rest of your life with this person. And so is it um, the best case scenario on earth? No. Is it a perfect situation? I don't know if any relationship is perfect. Do you feel like the person has some stuff to work on? Yes. And so, I would, sometimes in relationships, as long as both people want to work on it, even if it's like a hard relationship, um, even if it's a hard relationship, if both people want to try and work on it and both people respect each other, there's a lot of opportunity there. So I would say that this, when I'm looking at you, you're staying together. And when I'm looking at, is this person your person? I think as long as we can put a lot of effort into it, because both of you have stuff, and that stuff seems to stand in the way sometimes, and sometimes meaning lots of times. And so I'd be working on that part, but it really does. It shows up as you having an opportunity to have a happy relationship with this person. It's just more, it's work. And I think that relationships are messy. Human beings are messy. And so this relationship is no different, than that. And some are messier than others. And both of your pasts are messy. And so the pasts, am I saying that right? The past of both of you are messy. And so as long as you two are willing to work on it together, it feels like it's something that has more and more value. But regardless, if you do nothing together and not work on it at all, it seems like you stay together regardless. And so I would continue to, I'd work on it just because you are going to stay together. It feels worth it. Yes. Good. Good. Well, thank you so much for asking your question. Okay, I'm going to get to one more person in the comments, and then I'm going to pull a card for everyone here. So stick around for that. And thank you so much for being here. Hello. Oh, good. Yes, if you would like to get a private reading with me, you'd go to travelingintuitive.com to book a session. I'd love to have a reading with you. Yes. Okay. Mm. Okay, 25 is Christina Coalo. Hi, Christina Coalo. Christina Coalo says, why do I feel like a failure in everything? Let's send Christina Coalo lots of hearts. And anybody who's feeling like a failure at everything. She says, why do I feel like a failure in everything? Okay. All right, let me pull a card for you. Thank you so much for asking that question. Field of Dreams. So, Field of Dreams. So, why do you feel like a failure? You feel like a failure to everything, Christina, because your brain is a jerk. Yeah. I think that it is very hard for you to keep up with your life. And you have to multitask 5,000 things when I'm looking at you, and you do show up as missing things and feeling like nothing is falling into place, and you feeling very frustrated, and you feeling like you're adding and trying and pushing forward, and it's too many things. And so there's balls that are dropping, and you're associating that with failure. I think that if we took maybe 13 things off your plate, we would be able to juggle this situation a lot differently. And I think that when I'm looking at your life, you do not show up as a failure. Christina, you do not show up as a failure. And so that you're not failing. You are not succeeding at some things right now. You're definitely being able to do 10% of everything because there's too many things. And so we can eliminate some of these things. We can eliminate some of these plates that we have spinning in the air. That would be super helpful. I think that for you, you are dropping the ball on some things. You are missing some things. You do show up as, feeling like you're failing at everything. When I'm looking at you, you're not failing. I think that, you are doing what a regular person does when they have too much going on. And so your job is to figure out how to par down. And for you, some people can't do that. You can. And so we need to pull back on some of the stuff so that we can feel like that we can fulfill the things that we want to fulfill. And for you, it does feel like this whole year you're working on that, because I think that you overwhelm yourself over and over again. But the end result is that you feel like you win. And so you're not failing. You're feeling some, in the feelings that you have about yourself, and you feel like you should be at a certain place by now. And there's relationship stuff, there's job stuff, there's different stuff. I mean, every category is messier. But when I'm looking at you, there's nothing failing about you. You're not a failure as a person. You are, flailing is what you're doing. You're unable to keep up with so many plates in the air, and you shouldn't be able to keep up with it. You should be having a hard time, because it's too many things going on. And so these are the things that I would be working on, so that you feel like that you can, you have the opportunity to be able to feel like you're not failing. And so I think there's something in you that feels like you have to overcompensate for everything, and you're incorrect. And I think you feel like you have to overcompensate because you're under the impression that if you don't overcompensate, then the world's not going to see you as enough, and you're wrong with that as well. So your brain is a real jerk, but your guidance in your life is not a jerk. And so I would par back, and I would ask your guidance for help around things, so that you feel like you're in the right place at the right time in your life, and that it falls into place differently. But you don't feel this way throughout your life. Yes. Good God. Well, thank you so much for asking your question. And thank you everybody for asking your questions. And I'm here on Wednesdays, YouTube Live at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, doing psychic readings and mediumship. And if you want to get a private reading with me, you go to travelingintuitive.com to book a session. It's in the description of this live as well. And I'm going to pull a card for everybody here, the 46 people who are here, and anybody who's here in the future. This card is for you. And happy Wednesday. I'm hoping you're doing well. I'm hoping that you're having a good Wednesday. Today, me and my 2-year-old, who better be in bed right now and not continuing to watch this YouTube live. You need to go to bed, young lady. We have lots of fun things that we have, to use our imagination. We're always playing, me and my 2-year-old. And so today she pulled out these. What do you think? Everything is green. This everything. What do you think? And so then I think that we pretended that we were super kitties or something. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But they think these are our super kitty glasses. They're smoking up for some reason. But I just remembered that because I'm looking at them and they're sitting over here with my cards. And so I hope that you're doing something fun in your life as well. And this card is for you. And thank you again for being here. Okay. All right. So, follow the leader. So let's talk about this card. Usually what leads us is our brain, right? Our brain is a very loud instrument, and it tells us who we are and how we should feel about everything, and how we should, you know, interact in the world. And it dictates a lot of the things. It has a lot of things to say, mostly negative, oftentimes negative, about ourselves, in the pursuit to, you know, protect us from things and help us survive. Our brain is great for other stuff as well. It's great for keeping our organs going, for instance, and reminding us to breathe. You know, it's got a good job. It's got a really good job on its hand. What happens sometimes, especially if we have traumatic lives, is it overworks, it overprotects, it it over worries, it over is anxious, like it's doing a lot. It's protecting you from, you know, things 1,000 feet away, you know, or things that aren't even happening, or it overdoes it, right? And so pay attention if you have one of those brains, and figure out if it's your leader, if you're following the leader, if your brain's like, oh, you can't do that, and you're like, all right, yeah, I'm not going to do that. And then investigate it and see if that self-talk, that brain, is has your best interests in mind. 'Cause sometimes it does. Like, you know, you should probably, you know, it helps you tie your shoelaces. You should probably tie your shoelaces. But I don't know if it's valuable for it to let you know you're ugly or fat or dumb, or that you can't you can't accomplish things in life, or you're a failure, or any of those types of things. And I think that sometimes we have that as our background noise, and it's been there for so long we have no idea that it's even there. It's just like music in the background. You're a failure, you're an idiot, you're, you know, and so so that guy could be a jerk, depending on the amount of trauma that we've had in our life. And so you know, investigating that, taking a look at it, and seeing if the things it has to say are true. I think that oftentimes, in developing your intuition, you're able to connect into something that's way more present and loving, and connects into exactly who you are, and not in the story of who you are. And it's helps you navigate life differently. So sometimes developing yourself intuitively can be very, not sometimes, all the time, developing yourself intuitively is very helpful in you feeling like you kind of have a personal assistant in your life, that you are able to, you know, able to make decisions that feel like they're in your best interest, and are not out of fear all the time, which is what our brain oftentimes does. And so this week, evaluating what's the background noise? What's the background noise of your brain? What's it saying? What's it saying on a loop that it's been there for so long that you have no recollection of it? That's just like, you know, you're gonna fail at stuff, or oh, you can't do that, or oh, that's scary, you know, like just all the things trying to save you from something. And but it's maybe a little overdoing it. And so you know, the way to reel that back oftentimes is quieting that guy down by working on developing your intuition. And I can tell you that I don't hardly use my brain at all. Not to make decisions, not to communicate mostly. I'm grateful for it. It does a lot of stuff. Like you know, I walk, you know, I can drive a car. You know, I can read books, you know, I can do all those things thanks to this guy. You know, everything is moving in my body good. So I'm grateful, but does it help me make decisions in life, or help, like, does it have a say ultimately about what I'm going to do today? No, but it takes a while to get there. And but yeah, yeah, it's something very useful to work on developing your intuition, so you don't have that kind of sometimes abusive relationship with yourself when it comes to your brain. Yes, God. Good. Well, good. Well, thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me. And I can't wait to see you on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And if you haven't had a chance to subscribe and hit the hit the bell for notifications so that you know when I go live. There we go. Please feel free to do that. And I can't wait to see you next week. And I hope that your week is wonderful. Then you are everything you are looking for. And I'll see you soon. Okay. All right. Bye.